just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Both sevens to Mike. Both sevens to Mike.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this.
Check 23.
Hey, 88.
Hey, check 24.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Snap comes at 1. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
Open man is Galladay, complete. 19 yards that time for number 19. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10.
Exit.
58, come on. I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
The shotgun snap for Stafford. Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Succop, and that makes the score 7-0. Now it's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. Rodgers now to throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
Let's see if they do that. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Hey, Wahoo!
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
First down, Lions.
Set, lady!
Watch the roll, watch the roll.
Hey, give me radar.
It's 50, Mike, 50. Hey, they scared.
Like 7.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
On first down, Stafford here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
6-6, pull it high.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All day, every day.
On second down now, Dillon. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And some room to work. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Now Rodgers to try again after the pick six. Now he'll escape to his left. Now he'll pull it down. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
Throwing is Rodgers, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
He sets to fire deep, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Drill right, 22.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. 23 yards on the play.
It's a gain of 23 yards. And the Lions 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Here I come.
Middle. 59. Jim. Hey, Alpha. Zero.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 18-yard line.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Packers nothing.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Check safety.
To the air again, Stafford. This is caught, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Now, he's having a nice little 1st half here, partner.
And it's a 1st half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
From just shy of midfield, Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. He got 29 yards that time. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
General West.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Ready. 280.
Mike 58 right there.
11. Recon, 132 fighter.
Out of the gun, Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Stafford now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, orbit.
Mike 50.
Operating from the gun. Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
Check. 280. Middle.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Hey.
On 1st down, it's Stafford. This complete to Jones. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing again is Stafford. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
Stafford going to come up first and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Stafford looks to throw again. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
53, ready. Greystone, Travis.
You can't block me. Whip. Watch the whip.
From the gun, Stafford. That's going to be caught. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on him a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Zadarius Smith in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
After the sack on first down, Stafford. And he's going to go down again. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal.
Hey, zoom.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me, partner.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20. To the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
But no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Rodgers will try again on second down. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely has been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Throwing on second and long. Rodgers. It's caught by Funchess. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down.
We've got 25 to Mike.
Here we go, G.
Hey, 25.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Adams has it complete. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. To throw is Rodgers. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on third and long.
Watch the safety keeper do.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Jones has it. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Rabbit.
Zebra! Hey, Haywood!
To throw is Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
Lions, first down.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Stafford now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Throwing is Stafford. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Hey, lady!
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10.
Right here.
319! Jump out! 22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
Alert flare.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7.
He'd had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
26!
From the 35 on 2nd down, Rodgers gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a foot. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. On for the point after is Randy Bullock. He's got it, and that makes our score 24-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
It's just me and you. It's just 40 got. 40 got. 58. 65. 5. 58, boys. 58. Mike. Army. And 58 is a Mike.
Stafford. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball to cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 43 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Rodgers now on 1st down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. Touchdown, Packers. Jay Sternberger. His first touchdown on the year. And the Packers get a score closer. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
They go for just one here as it's up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
They'll get this out wide to Allison. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Pick me up. Here we go. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Down to lose 1.
On 2nd and 7, Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
First down, Lions.
Stafford now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Monday. Match 50. Here we go.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10.
A lone second remains now in this 3rd quarter.
All day, defense, all day, all day.
Jump out!
51, Mike, 51. What we got?
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Caught by Jones. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Rodgers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Shift. 47. 47 is the mic.
And again, it's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Packers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6.
We go 25 to Mike. That's right, baby. They don't want it. Hey, 88. 25 to Mike. Watch the run. Flip again.
Rodgers again now. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
Check the 50. Stop your whining.
Now a first down carry by Jones. He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
Now Rodgers. Flush to his right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Throwing is Rodgers. Funches has it complete. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 20. Going to give this time to the tailback. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And all the way down to the 26. A big play there for Detroit. 54 yards. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Omaha, ready to move. 58, come on. 58, come on. In the face.
Now a handoff here to his running back. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That good for 19 and a first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up.
And got his man complete. It's a gain of 34. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Flushed out right. And incomplete. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to let it. He's got it at the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. It's a gain of 35.
61, match back, right.
On 1st down, Rodgers. Stepping up, and they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to. Have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They try and run on 1st down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the 50, it's Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. 1st down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. They'll run on 1st down. Swift. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Stafford down to a knee, and with it, he's going to ensure his guys a victory. And that kneeled down a little extra sweet. You get the win, and you knock out somebody's perfect season.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because it's not a championship game yet, but the team that's undefeated feels like a champion. So you've won a little bit extra in this one. Yeah, they've got to feel great about taking a knee here.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And I know I'm not breaking any news when I say that any road win in this league is a good one.
No doubt.
But it's a double bonus when you get a victory on the road in your division.
And when you start a season, each team breaks down their schedule in different ways. Some do it every 4 games, right? Let's go quarterly. Others say, listen, we've got to take care of our home field. And, you know, out of a 16-game season, if you get 8 at home, let's at least win 7 at home and split our road games. That's what you're trying to get done.